Hey, what's going on everyone, it's Yash here. Today we're going to look at an external monitor for your camera. So if you shoot videos, you would know it's not that easy and convenient to see and frame up your shots using that tiny LCD screen behind your camera. So that's where external monitors are a lot more easier to work with. External monitors are not something that without you can't make videos, but if you have, can get really handy and useful. And there are a lot of good external monitors that you can get for like the small HD focus, and there's a one from Blackmagic, and there's also Atomos external monitors that also has pretty amazing external recording capabilities. But external monitors can also get quite expensive as they give you more features. So the one we're looking at today is pretty inexpensive but also offers some quite good features. So the monitor that we're looking at today is the Lilliput A7S. And yeah, I just said A7S, and no, Sony did not make this, and no, it's not specifically made for the A7S camera or the A7 camera lineup in general. It's just the name of the monitor. I don't know why. So the A7S has a 7-inch 1920 by 1200 display, which is a tad bit taller than your average 16 by 9 1080p displays. At first I thought a 7-inch display would be overkill for shooting videos like these, and a 5-inch display would be the sweet spot to get if you're shooting with handheld rigs or DSLRs and stuff. But looking at it now, the 7-inch display is a lot more better to go for rather than having a 5-inch display, because you will see your footage much more clearer in much more lifelike size, if you can say. So the display is pretty good, it's quite sharp, and the colors are pretty good, and it's also fairly bright with having a peak brightness of 500 nits. For reference, your average smartphone goes around from 400 to 650 nits, so pretty okay to use with. You can use it outside without any problem, but if you're thinking you will get any problems while shooting with it outside, it also comes with a sun hood that you can just attach in front of your display, and that makes it using it outdoors a lot more easier. It's made entirely out of plastics, not the best plastics. It doesn't feel that much durable, and it does feel that if you drop it from a pretty average height of like 3 feet, it will break. But it does come with this external silicone case that you can put around the monitor, which just gives it a bit of extra protection, but not much, and it also looks pretty good with it actually. And there's one thing that I don't like, that without the silicone case you can't actually mount the sun hood on the display, because the velcro to attach the sun hood is on the silicone case and not on the monitor itself. But it's not that much big of a problem. Having some sort of protection is always better. So the monitor is mainly powered by Sony NPF batteries, and it does not come with one in the box, so you have to use your own, but that's okay. That Sony NPF battery is pretty normal to be used in big lights and stuff, so chances are that you already have some lying around. But if not, you can also power this thing up by DC power, and it also doesn't come with an adapter for that. You'll have to get one yourself. Besides that, it has a HDMI, full-size HDMI in and out, so you can have an extra pass-through of HDMI if you want to connect it to a recorder or a bigger external monitor if you want. And there's also a headphone jack to monitor audio right from the external monitor. So in case if your camera doesn't have an headphone jack, you can use the one in the monitor and it just works fine. And there's also a couple of 1/4-inch threads on the top and the bottom of the monitor, so you can just mount it from the bottom, or if you're mounting it on a gimbal, you can just easily mount it from the top. There are a total of 5 buttons and 1 scroll wheel to control the whole thing. So the first button is just the power button. There are also 2 custom buttons that you can assign specific commands to, like if you want to save something like the focus peaking and something like that, you can easily do that. There's also an exit button, which is used to exit out of the menu system, and the scroll wheel on the side is used to scroll through the menu system, which is a lot more better than having buttons to jump around in the menu like that. But instead you can just go. It's not a big thing, but it does makes your usability a lot more convenient. And to actually select an option, you just have to press down the scroll wheel. It also has a button in it, and it will open up the option that you're selecting. This is a budget monitor, so it doesn't have a lot of features, like it doesn't have waveform. You can load in your own LUTs, and external recording is just out of the question considering the price tag of this thing. but this still has some pretty good features in with like focus peaking, zebras, histogram. It also has false colors, which is a really great tool to perfectly nail your exposure. And it also has like aspect ratio markers, guidelines, center marker, and wait, what does it have? There are more things that this monitor has that I don't remember at the time, but I'll link up the page of this monitor in the description down below, so just go ahead and check there. You will see the specifications and everything like that. So usability wise, this monitor is pretty good. It doesn't have the best battery life. If you're using one of those big Sony NPF batteries, it will last you for about 2 hours or so. And there's actually little to no lag on this monitor, which I really like, because in most of the budget monitors you will see they have quite a bit of lag between the actual motion and the preview of it. So there's still maybe about half a second lag, but it's not that much, and maybe it's due to the camera. It also depends on what camera you're using and how fast the HDMI output is. I'm using a Canon DSLR, which doesn't seem to have the best HDMI output, so maybe it's the HDMI output, I'm not sure. But still, half a millisecond is not that bad. Besides that, everything is pretty great about this monitor. The image looks really nice, the colors are great, the brightness is really good. The battery life is okay, it's not amazing, but still amazing little monitor for a price tag of about $130 or about 11,000 rupees in Indian rupees. I would say this is a really great product to look at if you're looking for external monitors on a budget. So yeah, that's it I guess. As I said earlier, I put the link of the Lilliput A7S in the description down below, so if you want to check that out, you can do that from right there. And give the video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe for more coming videos like these, and I'll see you guys in the next video.